I just want to come here and talk to you guys a little bit today. I'm not sure if everybody saw that Mr. De Blasio, I'm not going to call him mayor right now, but Mr. De Blasio, the mayor of New York City, he has, he's threatened to throw the police on some of the protesters. So, Democratic New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said Wednesday that the city's police would crack down on Jewish protesters who light fires or commits acts of violence while demonstrating against the new restrictions in areas of the city that are seeing spikes in the coronavirus, including Jewish sections of Brooklyn's and Queens. He says that the NYPD will not tolerate people doing harm to others, and there will be no tolerance for those setting fires. If anyone commits such acts of assault, of course, there will be consequences. But on Tuesday night, there was no New York City Police Department action, meaning no summonses or arrests. Nothing. Nothing hadn't happened. So here's the deal. Mayor de Blasio is doing a great deal of overreach right now. He's been doing too much overreach, if you want to know the truth, and he's not been doing enough of what he needs to do, what he's commissioned to do. I don't find him doing enough of that at all. And so therein lies the problem, right? You've got a mayor who is not necessarily doing a good job. And because he's not doing a good job, he's not doing anything. He's doing all the stuff that he's not supposed to do. And I'm really done with it. I honestly feel like what's happening there in New York, as well as what's happening in Los Angeles, as well as what's going on in, I think it's Minneapolis, it's ridiculous. I don't believe that any of these folks that are paying their taxes are really getting their money's worth. Now, in other news, did anybody see what happened with Whitmer? They claim that there was a attempt to assassinate her, an attempt to go out, kidnap her, assassinate her, just get her off the planet. But you know what, you guys, I really don't know if I believe that. It just seemed to me to be a little bit too convenient, if that makes any sense. It just seemed to be a little too convenient that right now they're saying that somebody was trying to take her off the map, basically. So I don't know, but you guys tell me what you think about that. I just feel like right now there's so many things that are going on to distract us from what's the real issue. And the real issue is, why are we split 1,000 ways? Whose fault is it? How can we fix it? And let's get back to what we are, which is a republic. I think we're focusing a lot on the term Democrat lately, or democracy lately, and we're not focusing on who we are and what we are. I think right now we're probably the most vulnerable that we've ever been in the United States. Right now, I think that we are about the most vulnerable that we've ever been. I don't see us as having the protection from our own people in the military, let alone allies. I think allies are laughing at us. So we need to get back to the brass tacks of what's real. And I truly hope and pray that after the election is over with, that there will be some semblance of fairness or some semblance of normalcy. I say that I say that with tongue in cheek. That's honestly what I hope, but I don't see it as happening. Last night's debate. Wow. Wow. All I know is I sure do appreciate Mr. Pence. I appreciate Mr. Pence. I appreciate him. I appreciate his professionalism. I appreciate the way he handled himself. I actually took a timer out, and I kept the timer out just to see, how long he went over, if at all, and how long Miss Kamala Harris went over, if at all. And on both of them, there was some times where they both went over. But I will say this, it was not egregious on either end, except for one point where she was speaking. And so it was one point where she was talking where it did go over a little bit. I hope everybody here knows that I'm live, and it's really a good pleasure to be here with you guys on lunchtime, just taking a quick break here. But as far as that was concerned, I think they took away thinking about the um, the fly that was on Biden's head. I mean, that was on Pence's head, as opposed to what exactly was it he said. He made a lot of good points. I love how calm he was. I like how cool and collected he was. And this is what I was saying last week over on the Lockhart Perspective, that if the president had stayed calm, cool, and collected and only dealt with the actual questions that were asked and responded to them, he would have been able to answer them more succinctly, and he would have gotten a better result than he ended up with. And so last night, honestly, I have to say I was quite pleased with Vice President Pence. I really feel like the Democratic Party doesn't have much to stand on. They're repeating the same rhetoric over and over again. You know what I mean? It's like they're repeating the same thing over and over again. And on top of repeating the same thing over and over again, they're not giving us any of the answers that are being asked. Two things. Both of the both of the moderators. Last week's moderator was leaning toward Biden. And I would have to say that this lady here, she tried her best to seem impartial, but there was still a little bit of fuzziness going on there. It really was. It felt like there was still a little bit of fuzziness, like she was still leaning towards one individual. So with that, we'll have to see, you guys. And now today they're talking about, I just got it, I'm sure you guys just did too, the cuckoo part about having both the presidential candidates, the incumbent as well as Biden, do their this remote stuff. They want them to do the debate remotely. I don't know if anybody in their 50s can handle doing something remotely, let alone two geriatrics in their 70s. And I'm closer to 60, so I can say that. I've earned the right. So for me, I'm absolutely amazed that they would even think about something like that. Now, I get it. We do have to consider the fact that only days before coming out saying that he had the coronavirus, the president was standing on the stage several feet away from Biden. But I do honestly have to say that with the way the numbers are looking on the CDC's website right now, it would appear to me that you'd have a greater chance of falling down, hurting yourself than you would of catching the coronavirus. It looks like the odds are out there right now. And I just think that things have been blown up so much that it's just allowing everybody to be a little afraid, because they need you to be afraid so that they can do whatever it is they want to do as far as legislation and as far as putting things over on you, helping them pay for the shots that they've already paid for. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, in my opinion, that we'll never know the truth to. And I really don't think we want to know the truth to all of the stuff that's going on. But with that said, I cannot see the president or Joe Biden faring well in an attempt to have a online debate. I can't see that working. I just can't. You tell me. I see, do you think it will work? Personally, I can't see it working. Because you know what? It does leave a large margin for cheating. And here's how. Because you don't know who's moving you don't know who's answering the questions. You don't really know who's feeding questions. There's a lot you can do when you consider the fact that you're not there and you cannot honestly say. Now, I will say this. There was some cheating going on a few years ago with the previous election in 2016. Remember, we saw that there was an earbud, and I think it was in Hillary's ear. They showed that. And then last week they did come up with some assumptions, and without any valid proof, all I can say is that they were allegedly saying that Biden had something in his sleeve, he had something in his ears. Look, I don't know. All I do know is these are some really odd times. We've had so much cheating, so much going on, alleged cheating. Just the other day, they were having an issue in the state of California. It was California. There was an issue in the state of California where a husband and wife, both in their 80s, received their ballots in the mail. They went to fill the ballots out. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but they went to fill their ballots out. And when they went to fill, they discovered that there was every bit of legislation. There was all these different offices to vote for. And then it said to continue, turn over. They turned over and there was nothing there. Those two spots specifically were for the president. That's right. They were supposed to vote for the president on those two spots back there, and they could not because, well, their names was not, there was nobody's name on the ballot. How are you going to vote for somebody if the name's not on the ballot, for the love of Pete? How are you going to do that? So looking at the fact that it doesn't seem that anybody can get anything truthfully done here. I don't know which direction we're going. I really feel like they should just let us go on about our business, and while they go head on and fight and have mayhem, you've got rogue mayors and rogue governors making all kinds of rules and regulations that they're not even living by themselves. Let's just be honest. A lot of these folks are not even living by some of the rules and regulations they're making themselves. Case in point, you got and getting off of de Blasio, getting off of the president. Let's talk about the fact that in the state of California, there was a whole time frame where there was nobody going to any wineries. There was no one going out to eat. And then you've got the governor that says, oh, nope, nobody can go out and drink. Nobody can go out and eat. And then he turns right around and opens up his winery with a full-on restaurant service. So it's basically do as we say and not as we do. And you turn around, look at this as well. You found two people going out getting their hair did. The first person was the mayor of, I want to say the mayor of Chicago. She got her hair did after she made a PSA, a little commercial saying, not to go out and get your hair done, that you can wait to get your roots retouched. She did a PSA, but you can wait and get your roots retouched, Betty. She did that PSA and then turned right around later and got her hair did. Then you also got to look at Pelosi, okay, who basically told everybody, wear your mask, stay inside, do everything you're supposed to do, and then turned right around and did what they normally do, did what the Democrats normally do, pointed the finger at the other person to take the heat off of herself and said, well, it's their fault for showing the video of the salon owner. It's their fault for allowing it. They tricked me into coming in to get my hair done. I'm not 102 years old and I can't speak for myself, and they tricked me. I'm 102 and they tricked me. I can't think for myself, can't speak for myself, but they tricked me into coming to get my hair did. Yeah, 102 years old Nancy Pelosi creeps into the back of the salon to get her hair did. And after she creeps into the salon to get her hair did, she wants to tell everybody it was not her fault. Okay, gotcha. We got you, Nancy. We understand, girlfriend. So right now, it just feels like the upside down world to me. That's what it feels like. Everything just feels like upside down world to me. Nothing just... Goodness gracious, I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I don't even know if we know what normal is anymore. And I don't think we know when things will be back to normal. Right? I don't think so. I don't think we know what normal is. And I doubt very strongly if we'll ever see what we remember being normal is. Heck, I'm sure that back 20 years ago when we thought that was normal for us, it wasn't normal for somebody else. But I know this right here, running around with face gear, that ain't nowhere near normal. It's not. God didn't make us for this. The stuff that we're dealing with right now today, he didn't make us for any of this. He didn't make us for covering up our exhaust pipe. I consider our nose and our mouth an exhaust pipe. That's what I do. I mean, you take in the oxygen, it goes in the body, cleans out the organs, then it comes back out the exhaust pipe. I've never seen any of us hold in any waste for any given amount of time and have any good success with holding it in. That's just me. All right, folks. This was a test for this channel. This is the Felicia Lockhart Show. My actual anchor channel is the Lockhart Perspective, but I will be using this channel in order for me to test out new equipment. There's the only way for me to test it without disrupting my main channel, the Lockhart Perspective. So here you will find me with no makeup. Here you will find me trying out topics as well as some products to give reviews on it and things of that nature, so that it looks just a little bit unique. But when you see me obviously on the other channel, it is things that have been tested, that have been tried, so that I'm not disrupting the bulk of my following. So I appreciate the 1 and the 2 people who did come in today. But if you are looking for fuller content and you do want to follow me on a grander scale, You can do that at the Lockhart Perspective, which is also here on YouTube. But again, I use this channel to try things out as well as to test. And that is what we've done today. So I thank you so very much for enjoying, allowing me to enjoy you watching me. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you for spending your lunchtime with me, at least the past 15 minutes and 19 seconds. How about that? All right, folks, thank you so very much. You take care. And remember to check me out. If you do want to follow in its fullness and its entirety, you can go over to the Lockhart Perspective here on YouTube. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.